Hi, so my topic to cover is Plato. So, Plato, famously the student of Socrates, like the student. Uh, after Plato's death, or after Socrates' death, pardon me, he went on to teach in his own way, establish his own academy, um, taught all kinds of people all sorts of different things. He incorporated a lot of Pythagorean ideas into what was Socrates' theories and came up with kind of his own thing and started teaching in his own way. So, Plato specifically divided reality into ideas or ideals and phenomena. Ideals is this concept of a perfect, permanent, ultimate reality. It is eternal. That is what reality is, and you can know this, right? And you know it through phenomena. Phenomena are the manifestations, the individual manifestations of that true reality, of what reality actually is. This is time, this is matter, this is all of these things that we experience that then demonstrate what reality is, right? So reality is immaterial, but phenomena are material. Specifically, Plato, and this is important, it's different than Socrates. He believed that you could not rely on your senses to determine reality, right? This is very Pythagorean of him. He believed that you can only gain knowledge and truth and an actual understanding of what reality is, this ultimate reality, ideals, um, through rational thought. And this is very prevalent in his writings, right? His allegory of the cave, Plato's Republic, all of these different things that he wrote and taught about have this idea that you have to step past your own senses and think rationally and think logically and reason with what the world is around you to actually understand what is happening and what actual reality is. Um, Now, so that those are just his philosophies, but there are three things that he talked about that very much planted the seeds for modern psychology and a lot of modern ideas in psychology. First of which is his three levels of the soul. So first you have the appetitive, right? It is mortal, it is in the gut, it is wild, untamed, and powerful. You have then the courageous spirit, the courageous soul, which is mortal, it is in the heart, it is calmer, it is tamed, it is predictable, but it is still powerful. And then third, you have reason, right? The reasoning soul. And that is immortal, it is in the brain, and it is purely based on rational thought, right? This reason of understanding what the universe is, it is in control of the other two. It not overpowers, but overrides the others. You can use rational thought and reason to tame the wildness, the unkemptness of these other two parts of the soul, which is very, very reminiscent of Freud. When Freud came up with his ideas of the id, superego, and ego, it very much reflected these ideas of the soul that Plato put forth. Uh, Also, importantly, something that Plato talked about was the idea of self-realization, right? You gain a resemblance to God, you get closer to this pure world of the ideal, this rational thought, what reality actually is, the same thing he's been searching for his whole, in all of his teachings. And then you attain self-realization, which is very much like the actual like self-actualization that is at the top of Maslow's pyramid. Maslow's hierarchy of needs very much reflects this concept of Plato's. The third concept is the concept of ideal pleasure, right? You have different kinds of pleasure according to Plato. You have sensual or physical pleasure. Then you have sensuous or aesthetic pleasure. Then you have ideal pleasure, right? It is intellectual, it is rational, it is logical thought, it is ascension of the human spirit. It is the top of everything, very much reminiscent of his idea of self actualization, in that you have kind of expanded beyond. You have become rational and you understand things to a point where now it's pleasurable, and is very much similar to the idea of flow within humanistic psychology. So, anyways, Plato was very foundational in a lot of these things, and which is why we as psychology students should be studying him. So, I think that's all from me.